Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Ralph McAlister. Ralph, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Lovely to talk to you. We've just had Holly on from Paikakariki. You, I understand, know Paikakariki quite well. And another of the wonderful personalities of Paikakariki, I see, is doing some work in Wellington shortly, Jan Bolwells. And you may well be implicated in the plot as well.
Well, look, it's quite topical at the moment because, of course, the latest reading of the euthanasia bill is on finally today in Parliament.
Yes.
And Jan Bolwells, who's a playwright, a dancer, choreographer, actor, I've worked with Jan on most of her plays through the last 10, 15 years. And she's now written a new one, and it's called, wait for it, Welcome to the Death Cafe.
Wow.
And it's all about the reactions and problems of assisted dying. And, of course, it's hugely topical at the moment, as it's probably, for some people, been topical for many, many years. Whenever we say it's a play about dying, of course, a lot of people immediately say, well, I'm not going to see that. But I was at rehearsal for a while last week, and it's got lots of joyful, exciting dance, but mostly holding up the various attitudes to euthanasia. And it's right up to date with the script, and it's actually quite funny at times.
Yeah,
because you can't preach about this sort of topic and be sort of didactic. You have to have humour, and she's got a lot of that, and some super actors in it. And of course, the title, "Welcome to the Death Cafe," is intriguing in its own right. And it's coming up in Bats next week.
Wow. Where is it set?
It's set in it's set in Wellington area because people come over from the Wairarapa and get stuck in the Rimatukas and all that. So it's right in the middle of our own place. And of course, the people who are coming in for this meeting come from diverse backgrounds, which makes for a very interesting piece of drama. Annie Ruth, who many of you will know, who used to be head of Taifakari, Julie Edwards, who's a stalwart of Cliff Curtis's and other people's day. She's now in the play. She's been in Dunedin for quite a few years. And Vivian Bell, who's local to Paikak, she's there as well. And, of course, I've been doing the dramaturg work for the last 6 months with this one. And I'm very excited about it, as you can probably guess from my voice.
Absolutely. I'm really intrigued. When is it set? Is it set after the possible passing of the bill tonight, or is it the current time?
Well, you see, it's funny you ask that, because it's set today. And yesterday or the day before, they had to change a line in the script because it referred to Maggie Barry.
Oh,
and
yes.
So that had to be altered. So it's a day. It's really of the moment.
Wow.
And I think that will add to the excitement.
It certainly will. Do you think if the bill passes, as is the current feeling, a real close run, but it could well pass tonight, does that mean there's going to have to be some rewrites or not?
No, I don't think so.
This is fascinating.
There's still the whole prospect of a referendum, isn't there?
Indeed. Yes.
So I think this will go on for another year. And I think it'll have a life of another year, because I think this is one that I was a bit sceptical about when I read the first drafts, but I always am. I'm always telling Jan that she says my favourite word is cut. But it's going on at Bats this coming Tuesday, and what will appeal to some of your listeners, of course, is the fact that it's on at 6:30. which means it's only an hour, which means if you're going home back to Paraparaumu or whatever, you'll be back in bed by 8:30, you see.
Oh, very good. Oh, well, she does understand the audience, doesn't she? Yeah, look, that sounds absolutely fascinating. I'm delighted to hear about it. So welcome to the...
You might have time to have a chat with Jan. She's got another 6 days, and she might be interesting to hear her version.
Indeed, yes. I've talked to Jan before, and I'm full of admiration for that. Welcome to the Death Cafe. That sounds wonderful. And what about the Booker, Ralph? That's coming up, isn't it?
Well, it's come and gone in a way, because you may not have realised, but they didn't award it to one person this time. They awarded it to Margaret Atwood, who was lots of people's major favourite to be the winner. But then they also awarded it to a very interesting fight, really, really fascinating play, again, about the topics of the people in London of black and people who have got different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. They're all in London or in the north of England, and the play is called Girl, Woman, Other. And I've just finished reading it yesterday, busy man, and it's just quite extraordinary. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, because I'm not terribly au fait with women's rights and feminism, etc. But oh boy, this is a real treasure. And quite rightly, I think the judges, for the first time ever, I think, I decided to award half of it to one and half of it to the other.
Wow.
Atwood, and her name is Evaristo, Bernardine Evaristo, and I'd warmly recommend that to all our sort of people here who want to risk. Wonderfully funny, very touching, and of course we all come from somewhere, don't we? And this covers about 12 different characters, most of them black women, and the chapters overlap, and they meet people and they don't meet them. It starts in the National Theatre in London, and then it ends there at a party. It's very well worth reading. I got my copy from, as usual, Paper Plus in Paraparaumu. So I would recommend not only Jan's play in Bats in the next week, but Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. Go and get a copy. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
I am not disappointed with what you've come up with this morning, Ralph. That's been a wonderful program. Thank you so much for joining us, and perhaps we can do it again sometime.
I can go back to the tennis, can I?
Oh, please do, sir. Please do. A man of many parts, Ralph McAlister, thank you very much. Possibly from here on known as Cut McAlister. This is Beach FM.
106.3 Beach FM.